gone through chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. We have also looked at ways of how to design research instruments. We have also attempted to look at validation, how to validate research instruments. We've gone into pilot testing. To determine the reliability of research instruments. Ordinarily, now what I'm explaining to you now is chapter 1. What I've described here is chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and the instruments you need to go to the field to generate data for your chapter 4, right? And then chapter 5. Chapter 4 requires the input of a statistician. I am not. So an expert will be coming tomorrow to discuss that with you. And when he's done with chapter 4, he will be going to chapter 5. But today, I want us to discuss, as we are coming to the end of this, because this is practically the last physical engagement before your exam. Your exam is when? I understand the timetable has already been sent to you, right? January 10th, from number 9. That's like tomorrow. So there is no time. So 1 or 2 physical online classes and the semester stuff. So I would like for us to go through ethical considerations of academic research. Ethical guidelines that should govern you, that should direct you as you embark in your research. Now, what is ethics? How do you define ethics? Some say ethics and morality are two sides of the coin. Some say they are different. Some say it's just a matter of semantics. Ethics. What are ethical considerations to be deployed when conducting research? Now, ethics encompasses the moral principles and values that guide an individual in life. In general, there should be ethical considerations in everything we do. Is it right? Is it wrong? Is it, like they say in law, repugnant to natural justice, good conscience, and equity? Is it destructive or constructive? Like, with regards to the actions that we take in our daily lives, ordinarily there should be ethical considerations in our basic decisions, And that also applies to academic writing. That also applies to research. Are we making sense? Are we okay? Yeah. Okay. That also applies to academic research. In other words, there are ethical considerations, there are ethical issues to consider when carrying out research. Now, the question to be asked at this point is, why do research ethics matter? What are the reasons for why we should consider ethics? Why can't I just go and generate the money, whatever I want to generate, however I want to generate it, and come up with my findings? Can anybody hazard why ethical considerations is pivotal? Because if the process, the product is as important as the process, right? And when the process is faulty, the product. So the process and the product are what? Equally important. None is more important than there. So we attempt now to answer the question, why does ethics matter in research? Why? Number one is to avoid misconduct. To avoid misconduct. To avoid misconduct. Research ethics prevents misconduct such as plagiarism, fabrications, falsifications of data, and ensuring the authenticity of the research process. Research ethics prevents misconduct such as plagiarism, fabrications, falsifications of data, and ensuring authenticity of the research process. We go into plagiarism proper as we go along. So you are not allowed, it is unethical for you to plagiarize somebody else's work, right? I have seen people who just go bring another person's PhD thesis conducted in Usman Dan Fodio University, somewhere in northern Nigeria. Remove the cover page, remove the title page, reconstruct the acknowledgement page and the dedication page, and your PhD thesis is what? Is ready. What it means is that and it happens every day in Nigerian universities. Can I keep you not? It is not only unethical, it is criminal to do so. As students do it's even worse in undergraduate studies. To the extent that they don't even have to go far. You're looking at studies and you supervised one student in 2014, and in 2016, another student is coming with the exact same topic, exact same content of the project you supervised in the same university. That is what? Unethical. Unethical. Criminal. Fabrications, falsifications of that. And people do that a lot. Ideally, you're supposed to go to the field, right? With your instrument. What are you supposed to do with your research instrument? To use it to get what? Information. Authentic information. And then you analyze that data. And then you discuss your findings. When some people just get SPSS, they don't even bother to print that instrument. The instrument that they design is just to show their supervisor that, okay, I have designed my what? Instrument, validate it, and it's validated. And you go back, and then you now go and engage SPSS professionals. And they sit down on their system, and they generate what? It's garbage in, they impute, and then they generate. The job is wrong. Hello? Hello? I don't know what I'm saying. I need to expose you to these things. It's not even in JOS, when I was coming out of meets, and one student came to me and said, this woman is doing talking nonsense. She does not know that you have told us how to get around this AI. I did not tell you how to get around AI. That's an indictment. Why you were saying I was looking around to know if there's anybody. I did not tell you how to get around it. I'm only trying to expose you to information, things that can happen, things that are wrong, things that if you do and you're caught, you will be in serious trouble. Are we together? And he was referring to, there was a class here, I think it was a physical class. I was talking about paraphrasing, right? How to paraphrase and paraphrase people. See, you know, that even when you paraphrase, you still have to reference the original author. Are we together? If you paraphrase somebody's idea, does it make it your idea? Hello? If you take my ideas and paraphrase it, does it make it your idea? It is still not your idea. It is my idea. So it is expected that you should what? Acknowledge the original owner of the idea. So it is even unethical to paraphrase and claim the idea without what? Referencing the original account. So fabrications is criminal, it's unethical, such. Whatever you do not fabricate figures. Go out there, go to the field, generate the data, analyze the data, discuss, generate your findings, discuss your findings, and proceed to chapter 5. Research is serious business. Research is expensive business. I hope you know that. If you don't want to give you grants, they can embarrass you as high as $100,000 for research. You know why? Because they understand how expensive research can be. But what our professionals, our academics do is use the money to go and buy cars and marry wives and live good lives. And then fabricate what? Hello? Fabricate data, generate, hook up, and bring. If those research findings are subjected to criticism or further analysis, loopholes becomes easy. Anything that is worth doing is what? Falsification is another problem. Falsification. People falsify authors. I hope you know that. You go to chat GPT and then you generate, and then you now add Okafor 2027. There's no such author as Okafor 2026. Because the chat GPT did not give you citations, and you are required to acknowledge your sources. Because when you bring it to us, you just circle and say source. And these your ideas. It is not your ideas, right? You can't write 2 pages of academic writing without acknowledging your source. Unless, of course, it is your idea. Unless, of course, you are writing for a newspaper article where you're not required to provide citations. But in academic research, at this level, you're required to what? Provide. So because you know that, and ChatGPT, I finished writing you a very beautiful article, and there's need for you to provide citations. You will now go behind every this thing, you now settle Muhammad 2021. There's no such author. You now go behind that reference and you now forge the level of criminality in research, in more contemporary research, especially in Africa, is very dangerous. So these are the issues we need to, as an institution, authenticity, originality, ethics. Well, we need to recourse to originality, authenticity, truthfulness. In Germany, not too long ago, Germans got PhD, especially German politicians. It was realized that most PhD theses that they churn in are falsified data, falsified information. So this thing is not even an African problem. It is what? It's a global problem. And that's why there's need for this to incorporate the teaching of ethics in academic research. Number 2, any questions so far? Questions? So we're good, right? We're good. You have a question? Okay.
So in statistics, sometimes we do simulation. On which area does that come? Does it also come and quantification of data or?
Simulation is scientific research. A lot depends on the research design that you're deploying. If you're doing survey, for instance, there's no business simulating. As most of us do survey, right? Most of us do survey. You're supposed to go to the field and generate original data, right? So what are you simulating? A lot depends on the research. A lot of you here, as well as possible, 99.9% of you going to survey. Because we assume it is easier and more straightforward. As well as you're supposed to reach survey questionnaire, particularly when you're perception, studies of perception, to generate data which got the opinion of what? Of people regarding an issue. But oftentimes, whatever it is we are researching on, we just do something because it's easier and more straightforward. And a lot, you can do simulation, it's allowed. It depends on the research designing your or the nature and character of the research you're conducting. Are we clear? Any other questions? Maintaining scientific integrity. Number 2. Ethical conduct in research ensures that the findings are accurate, they are reliable, they are unbiased, that it promotes integrity. Scientific integrity. Scientific integrity. Now, what is scientific in political science? Is there science in political science, for instance? Hello? Is political science science? Huh? It is, right? Did you study political science? So when they say scientific research, we are not referring to the natural sciences, right? There's what you call the behavioral science. The science that studies what? Yeah. Human behavior. That also is what? It's science, scientific. So when we say maintaining scientific integrity, we're not narrowing down to physics or chemistry or behavioral sciences in this regard. Because they know all we do here is social sciences, right? Behavioral sciences. All we do here is be anchored on behavioral science. And we also have to maintain, integrity and reliability. You don't go into research with bias. I hope you know that. It's unethical. It's unethical for you to work. So if you go into research with bias, what it means is that you have conducted the research before what? Before what? Before the outcome. Meaning that there's a place you want this thing to end. And you will do whatever you can to what? To narrow the whatever it is to that one. That is unethical. That is unethical. That is completely unethical. Building trust. Building trust. Number 3. Adherence to ethical principles in research fosters trust in the scientific enterprise. And when there's trust in the process, and that's why sometimes it's difficult for us to find grants, because our benefactors sometimes don't believe, they don't trust the process of some of these findings that we generate. So if we maintain integrity, if we maintain ethics, morality in our research and consistency, and it is seen to be so, there will be trust. To the extent that, why is it that nobody goes to our academic institutions to find solutions to societal problems? Because abroad, when there's a problem, you know where they go to? You know where they go to? They go to the universities. Commission research to find what? Solutions to what? To the problems. But because there is no trust in the processes, scientific research, particularly in Nigeria, even when we do original research, people will still be looking at it with one kind of eye. I hope you understand what I'm saying. That's why there are people who bring proper solutions, scientific solutions to problems, and they bring it up, and the people will say no. Even when Abalaka, certain Abalaka said he had solutions to HIV/AIDS, right? Did anybody take him serious? Hello? Yeah? And they died. You see the problem we are talking about? Meaning that the findings of this, the end result is problematic, right? Maybe there were some unethical. Before this, especially natural science research, before they accept, you have to go through a lot of what? A lot. Yeah. Peer review here, peer review there, replicated research here, replicated research there. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of money. But here, because we're always looking to cut corners, we end up with dangerous findings that might be inimical to society, problematic to society. I'm not sure about that, sir. For review, that is unethical. I will come to that because he doesn't trust the process. Perhaps his process was unethical. You know. Of course, you have fairness for equity, promotion of social responsibility, you have integrity and credibility, protection of participants. Yeah, when you're conducting research, it is unethical. That's why a lot of people are reluctant to answer questions because they are not sure what you're going to do with what? With the information. I hope you know that. A lot of people, I think I've said this in this class. Sometimes it can be very difficult to gather policemen and have them interview. Sometimes it is even impossible. Why? Because they don't trust themselves and they don't trust you, the researcher. And they're not sure what you're going to do with the information that you're gathering. As a matter of fact, the respondent is supposed to be anonymous. There's nowhere in a research instrument where you should have the names, even in demographic level. It is criminal for you to put name or personal information that can be used to what? Track the respondents. Even in demographic, male, female, yes, anybody can be male. Location, for instance, your research has to be situated. But whatever information you even gather, it's unethical for you to use it for any other purpose other than what? The purpose for which it was what? Ethical. Highly ethical. So, respondents or participants should be what? Protected. Protected. Responded.
The building of thought, the mentioning system, so we are not going to
Explanation. Okay, I'll go through all of them. Protection of participants. Research ethics prioritizes the rights, the safety, the well-being of research participants. This includes obtaining information consent. Before a participant participates in your research, you need his or her what? Her consent. It is unethical for you as a boss in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and you're conducting data on conducting a research on say impact of late coming on the overall performance of staff in that institution. Because you are the boss, you just walk in there and tell them, you sit down, you distribute questionnaire, and say, fill this thing, they fill it up. You know, you require their what? Their what? Their consent. Otherwise, these people will just be telling you what you want to hear. And the findings of your research will end up to be completely useless or usable or even problematic. So there's a need for the researcher to seek what? Consent. As a matter of fact, you have to go to a letter. It's consent letter that the institution is supposed to what? Give to you. And when you get there too, your level of negotiation and diplomacy also what? Also manner of approach, right? But because now you they go beg, now beg you they go beg. No, it is not anybody's duty to respond to your inquisition. You're the one who leads the respondents. So you have to go and what? Plead the respondents and beg them to be as what's the word now? Objective as possible in their what? In their responses. Because objectivity on the part of the respondents gives credibility to your what? To your what? To your research, to your study. Are we together? Father, are you sure we are still together? Yes. Integrity and credibility. Integrity and credibility. Ethical research practices promotes honesty, transparency, and accuracy, ensuring that research results are credible and trustworthy. Now, this builds public and academic trusts in research findings. Research is not a criminal, it's not something there's nothing secret about research. Because eventually, the research findings should be what? Should be what? Made public, should be published. Either in journals or, presented in conferences or seminars, To publicize what? Your research. There's a place in chapter 1 that talks about significance of the study. You remember? There's a place in your chapter 1 that talks about significance of the study. And we're writing significance of the study. You have to tell us, before you even tell us who and who can benefit from the research finding, you have to tell us how they can assess what? Your study, your findings. So if your research is supposed to be significant to the Nigerian police, for instance, in what ways will the Nigerian police assess the findings of your study? You go to the library, you see heaps of, and it's like that in most universities library. Heaps of what? Heaps of, projects, research, findings. Some of them very beautiful and well designed and well. I can bet you that in the next 20 years, there's a chance that nobody will what? And that's what I'm saying. Nobody will ever go there to open those. There's somewhere in chapter 1 of that study that says that this study will be significant to this, significant to that, significant. Is it in that shelf that it can be significant to these stakeholders you mentioned? Is it? Abroad, there's most universities abroad, you don't even do hard copy. I hope you know that. Hello? You don't do hard copy. It's as well as you provide a link to what? To access your study. So they say that a simple Google search will produce your research and grant access to the whole world. But that's why they call us Tears Media. Tears Media. So the work. See the far, very far. Journals. They still do hard copy journals in Nigeria. Hard copy. Who still reads? Then you just pack them, you keep them in your library. Nobody gains access to them. Nobody reads. So the easiest way people can get access to your research findings is what? Making it available what? Online. Published journal, high impact journal. So that this can get access to these to your research findings. Especially, one of the reasons I was discussing with my students, and my peace education students, and I made this point. What one of them said, no, if you put it online, you go cast. Hello? You say you go what? You go cast. Now, that brings us back to the issue of what? Of ethics. Issue of credibility. What we cast? Something that is original, does it cast? That's what I'm saying. If it is original, the word cast will not go near this conversation. Are you understand what I'm saying at all? It is because you have done a lot of criminality, falsifications, and fabrications. That is why a lot of African scholars, particularly Nigerian scholars, are reluctant to publish their works, particularly online, for the world to see, and review and analyze and critique and criticize our studies. Oftentimes, we just want to come here, do abracadabra, get our PhDs and MScs and go home, right? I think it was Professor Zamani who told us in Jos that a PhD is not a chieftaincy title. That was instructive. A PhD is not what? It's not a chieftaincy title. As a matter of fact, if you have a PhD that you cannot defend, you are not different from the person who does not what? Who does not what? Does not have a PhD. You're not. And if you know what you are doing, if you come here and you conduct your study yourself with recourse to ethics, credibility, accountability, my dear, the sky is what? The sky is the limit. People will call you from everywhere. Because what? They know that what? That on Thursday, I was at Force Headquarters to give lectures to newly appointed assistant commissioner across the federation. Professor Arthur was there. They also called. What does that tell you? There are so many professors gathered in the University of Abuja, but these are the people they want. Because some of them have engaged with us and they know how that me, I'm not that good. They know that they are good small, right? Small. And they say, okay, come and what? Help us train assistant commissioners of police across the country. And in the end, you go, they give you small envelope for wasting your time. That small envelope is not even that small, you know. And that's why you have, there are professors and there are professors. You know, huh? They are academics and they are what? Academics are greater than academics. And you know what I'm saying? So people who know what they are doing, and to know what you are doing, you have to walk the walk. You have to spend your time. Sometimes you have to pay money. You have to take your time. Any food you are walking to any university and work out a PhD, I hope you know that. PhD, I do not say masters. Hello. But that is where it ends. That is where it what? Okafor, Nnamdi, Chris, PhD, doctor. You know that feeling now. The funny thing is, after 2 weeks, that feeling, that doctoral feeling, fades in the and then they call you, come, doctor, come, sit down. Then we have a problem here. You know, what is your opinion? And you start talking. Like a spare parts seller in name. You know, it does not only rubbish you as an individual. The next question they will ask you, which institution? It does not only rubbish you as an individual, it rubbishes the institution that produced. So it's a very big problem. And sometimes, based on your paper qualification, they call you to come and teach. Let's employ you as a lecturer. The worst thing that can happen to this world is to have people who are not qualified and credible to teaching. You know that's a problematic, right? So what will you teach? What will you teach? And you teach, and they say he has a PhD. As a PhD holder, you have respect, right? It's assumed that you know a lot in one small subject area, right? And you're supposed to teach content in that small subject area, and you come to class every day and you're talking what? Because you do not know what you are doing. Why is it you don't know what you are doing? Because somebody must have written your MSc thesis, somebody else wrote your PhD thesis, or maybe you wrote it yourself, and 99.9% of the content came from ChatGPT. Hello, you know what ChatGPT is? ChatGPT. That's AI, right? AI is the new goal for students. There are people who went to school at the time when there was no Google. I hope you know that. Good morning, Prof. How are you? What is that? Yes. What else? There are people who went to school at the time when there was no Google. Google itself. AI is recent now. Google that you just sit down and then you can write your research from your entire literature review without visiting the school library. I don't know that. All what you need is what? It's online. It's online. Research gate, Google Scholar, or the academic, you can even pay for online libraries, right? To generate sources. And you have a lot more than you even need, you know. But there was a time people have to go to visit physical what? Hello. Sometimes you move from Sokoto to Karam and Moda, from the north even to the east, searching for what? Materials. And you sit down and you know, that's why professors like Professor Apple and modern day professors, you cannot what? You cannot what? Compare, because they went to school when there was no, it was not easy to generate what? Information from the comfort of what? Your home. Of your room. So ethics is very important in what? In research. Ethics is very important in research. The process is as important as what? As the product. Let me ask that too. Now, when you wait for your food, okay? You wait for your project drugs. Talk about what? Huh? Yeah, I don't need them. What would you need paper? I'm not you went to international work. Your work is your work. You must preserve it and good quality work. So it is fit for you tomorrow. You are talking about somebody you can go to the top of the ladder and they can bring you down. A colleague of mine, Mr. Yansan is there, and I know Mr. Yansan is faculty of this. Today he has been downgraded back. Yes. Ironically from my state. He reported at the university the same day with him. And his contemporaries are all professors now, including his seniors are professors now, but they have been brought back. Because at the end of the day, when it is discovered that it was not actually your property, it was somebody else's property you could steal. The most disgraceful aspect that have. In fact, the day I went for the burial of one of our professors, Professor Ben, I met him there. He was apparently, you can see in him, he was just depressed. So I had to speak point to one and speak to him. Let's speak of this. Okay. So it's real. Do your work. As if it's if you are building your own house by yourself, will you manage? You don't manage now. Because that house you're building is a house that you live in. After you are exit on this water earth, your children will use it, your people will use it. So the quality of your work, is what will speak for you even after. That's why it's the intellectual property. Nobody will take away from you. Once they say you author work, that work is here with you, even after leaving the world. So you see, your research work is something that you are doing an investment. You're doing an investment in it. And I want to encourage you to do quality investment. Don't do investment that tomorrow is great for you and your family. I have seen professors that are late. I have seen professors that are emeritus. They come back and say, no. We discovered your work was not really your work. They have been downgraded. Even after you have retired from the university, they can withdraw your rep. Wow. Yes, it's a part of that. So do your work, keep quality because you are building your own house. That's one. Number two, thank God you are doing your work at an environment that is highly corrected now. Just like you said. During our time, I was doing my research in Sokoto. In fact, I lost my colleague. All right, where were they? I did my final study at Lela. Lela is a border town in Niger. Now I was only trying to look at social life at border town.
and the security aspect. So I went there. Now he was actually doing his own. He was trying to look at the education industry and the creation of urban cities. So when the woman, you take a village and situate an institution there, the attract. So you're looking at the full factor effect of the education industry. So he was trying to look at how the University of Sokoto has succeeded now in pulling people in Sokoto. On his way, he had an accident and died. Just to go and collect that. But your own case now, here you got clock. Yeah, everything is there. So I spent 7 weekdays in the Lela. But I remember very well. I left on Friday, and I completed everything on Friday. 8 days. Saturday I came back to Zaria. Right. So that's the kind of the way we generated our data. In your own case now, generating your data is as simple as APC now. Click, your data is there. So that is how it is. But in all of this, do quality work. Do quality work. Tomorrow I'll take you on statistics now. All right? Myself and Professor Usman. I'm taking on statistical aspects. But all we are doing now is take you up to chapter 3, how to develop your questionnaire. Okay? Now, after getting the questionnaire, generating data, what next? How do you apply your statistical tools now? Analyze your data. I know you can click and get you generate that. So, but then, you need to know, have the working knowledge of it. Not all of you here are statisticians. We have people who are specialists here that will teach us. But we just give you small so that you don't look like a novice. When we say T-test, what is T-test? It's meant for what? All right, there are certain tests that are for central major. All right, there are some they measure dispersion. So some of you, your work will be the area of dispersion. For some of you, your work will be in the central major, trying to get the average. Some trying to get all of this. So there are tests like T-test, ANOVA, and so on that measure all of these things. Now, when you are measuring dispersion, all right, how is one related to B, and so on and so forth. You are looking at, you start using things like Spearman rank correlation and so on. So at what point do you use, which of them do you use and why? And you must state in your work. I am using T-test for to test this hypothesis. These are my reasons for using T-test. I'm using ANOVA to test this and that. These are my reasons. At every point of your research work, you go to justify. Even if you are taking theoretical framework, you must justify that theory. Even if you are using questionnaire, you must justify you use questionnaire for this and that. You get the point? Because at every point you will ask question, why did you do this? Why? So that's the process of justification. So I will invite you, because this one, statistics is best taught in person. So we felt that you should use this particular to cap it all from chapter 1, 2, 3, your questionnaire. Either questionnaire or whatever thing you're going to use, whether interview schedule you're going to use, or whether you're going to use dialogue session, you're going to use group discussion and so on. Whatever method you're going to use by now, you should cap it all now. All right? So tomorrow we'll not start with the real statistical use. I will not think that's why I don't want to bring specialists. To bring somebody who managed to pass by myself. All right, I'll bring somebody who managed to pass by myself so that we'll manage with you. So that you understand. If I bring somebody who will take you deeper now, you get lost. All right. So I'll manage with you just like you are managing. We're all managing to save you. I know there are statisticians here. Those of you who are doing masters, PhDs, and I don't want to involve them because out and down they take me into the roots. But me and my organization, let's just manage. Let us manage. When we were doing advanced statistics in the area, I used to have one of my classmates. She was my senior with 3 years. And I met her because at that point, if you don't pass that statistics, you go to fieldwork. And she was a lecturer there. When I met her there, my mother was one life like that. I don't know how much she should be by now. So she said, my brother, this is my thought here. We are not allowed to go to fieldwork. Because you must pass it before you go to fieldwork. So I said, is that bad? She said, yeah. was passed that test. So my first class with Professor Mama Musa that time, Mama Musa, and we were talking of those Jacob, countries club, I said, how can we live? So I decided now to give him that attention. I used to go home on weekend. I lived there for jobs. I used to have one beating like that. So I picked that beating, just covered. But that statistics made me not to be going for weekend. So I have to be staying there with this man now. So that to follow gradually. And my target was going to get 50%. That was the first mark. That's what people go. I was not aiming high. I wasn't aiming high. No problem, but that's the risk now. So if I aim high, I will crash. So I said, let me just, so I decided to concentrate on just 3 areas. That's all. And to it, I got 50. I got 50. Yes. Yes. So I took that risk, I got 50. So, and I think it was around 51 or 50, always just 50. But then the point I am trying to tell you that what you need now, you're not supposed to be an expert in it, but to have a working knowledge fixed. You get a point. Just to have a working knowledge of it. So that you when they say teachers, at least you can say what is teachers. Or when they say chi-square, what is chi-square? Because I tell you, they say you are a PhD holder, so they will know that you know everything now. Now your child will come and say, Daddy, can you explain what is teachers? I know teachers is like this. By the time he asks for somebody, you think I'm looking for somebody. I think you're looking for something. You will not say you're a fool because at least you can say something about it. All right. And then yesterday I went to Force Headquarters to train this Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of those intelligent people. And the DIG came. I said, okay, all that proof have said now. Can somebody tell me? Give me have a recap of what we have done. All the same commissioner, none of them will say anything. Are you guys zombie like that? In fact, that man ordered that the assembly should to them. Yes. DIG said, "Assembly don't give it them." And you spent 2 days, and you cannot even say this. That's why when they compare with other service personnel, they are looking down upon you. Why? That's really why. He lambasted them. And then after about around 4 o'clock, we have to go and beg and say, no, but they came up, after the man then said, sir, no, this is our job, we're timid. DIG coming to address us. So all of them were shivering. So we have to go back and now. I told the officer, they want to, they spoke to me. He knew the reason why, not that they didn't know. And then he came back and said, if you keep quiet, that you don't do anything. You must speak truth to knowledge. Okay? So please, we don't want to have PhDs or masters that they don't do anything, they cannot say anything. When they say, you say you are timid. No. Knowledge makes you to be very, 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 very confident in yourself. Am I right? Yeah, it makes you be confident of yourself. You can face any person, you can face the president and talk to him. That was really like empower you to do. So the idea of you knowing all of these statistical tools, so that you don't look like food. When I discover you say, that means that you are something is but you don't have a PhD now. A PhD holder is supposed to know some working knowledge about everything. Most of the things because you must fit into the site. Yes.
Sir, still on this ethics, I want to ask because we talked about people's work after discovering that they are not the owner of that area. I want to ask what is the role of reference? If, for example, I copy someone maybe from A to Z and I reference, is it different from when I just pick a portion of that work and reference? And so, can you also clear that?
When you reference, when you take somebody's portion of work, you give him the credit.
If I take the whole work itself,
there is not your work now.
But I reference.
So if I copy your work now, I say reference you. Where's your own work? You get a point. You are only quoting somebody's work to help you drag the point. You get the point. Because he's an authority, the only certain he will say, even this man, he went and did this work there, and he did this. Like yesterday when I was giving them, for the idea is security awareness and intelligence, counterintelligence. And I told them, I said, see, there are so many researchers, depending on what I've done. So I've gotten over 7 research works. I gave them this man said, this one did this, this one did that, the one that did the over acres security management, so on and so forth. I gave them the order of my work. Then later I came and discussed. I gave the pitfalls of all of this and how they can now go on. And the end came out, I came there with a model for them. Right? So I'm not a specialist there. There are people that have been doing a lot of work outside. Outside what I've been doing, for my own perspective is different. Okay? My own perspective is the education aspect. All right? So, but some people have been doing critical work. There's nothing wrong in citing them, bringing in their work, telling them this is what this man has done. But this, my own way I'm looking at it to close the gap. Simple as that one. So you must give the person the credit now. So I started some works, some research empirical works. I give them this man and this body, they conducted the research work in this place. This is their findings. And this is relevant to this one we are going to do now. And you know, all the whole of this now is that we need to come on with a training manual for you. And that's where I come in now. To close the gap. So you have to cite, no, you cite, give them the credit. Then that way you have not stolen anybody's work. You understand? Yes, madam.
So I want to ask still on the ethics. I heard you talk about the person of indication of the person of thinking. Or they just cancel their work and ask them to. But I'm just trying to find out why there's so much, there are so much cases of plagiarism.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, let me speak for the Nasarawa University, which I know most of you are there now. By the time you finish all this your work, I know that this is one we produce some research papers. Already you do what job, all right? You're going to do another one again. Product of your work. Both the one that you're submitting now as your research paper, and even the product of the whole work is subjected to plagiarism test. You pay. That will qualify you to do the defense or qualify you, or even prosecute you. You get the point. Every aspect of your work before you get to the final destination. The final destination is what? Defense. Self-defense. That one is subjected to what? Plagiarism test. Every page go through plagiarism test. If you don't attain at least 75%, then you are in trouble. So if at the end of the day now discover that you stole my work, it's left for me not to either prosecute you or to pardon you. But that work, you going to do all the work you do is physics. That will cancel. That's why it's as bad as that. So don't go and do technical work for somebody. Okay? No. I don't want to hear it. Just
I want to use like the primary policy.
yeah.
Some scholars have already given the definition.
Yes.
Maybe my work can decide to look at ABC scholars and I need their definitions.
Yes.
So am I still expected to give definition in my own way of understanding?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. If you agree with him, you adopt his own. All right, you can align with him or disagree with him. Yeah, from all these definitions that they have been given, I seem to adapt more to X8 something, 1920 or 2022. Who said this? I adopt him, I adopt his own. That you can agree with you. You can disagree and then maybe say what I will apply, I will add this. So you actually take portions of what you are doing, and then add the whole, bring your own experience and add it. Well, you must make a statement. Is that statement that your own? Because somebody will quote it tomorrow again. They will tell you that what that you are doing. Stella, 2024, agree with X, Y, Z, but said added this. Because somebody will equally agree with you, but add something again. So you're giving the body of knowledge now. So you're expanding the things. See how knowledge is found. And so somebody will call tomorrow, someone will call tomorrow, and you put an app, put an app. So I assume that by today, you're chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and your instrument ready. By the time we start using the statistical something now, you use it now to test some things. So we want to make it as practical as possible. So that you produce good work. Okay? So that's the intention. We don't want to take people so to the deeper level so they can go and see. No. And for those of you who are of age like myself, let me not cause application for you. Yes. Because I lost my colleague when I was doing a master's in health on this side. That is a nightmare for people. But if you really so it was a nightmare for the, I used to have one of my boss mates who was a principal in Niger. So we came to uni just do his masters. We are doing masters together at TC. So that day we normally meet as a group, finish group discussion and well. Just relax your mind. You're going to be as but if somebody like me to pass statistics and do it, you can do it. I was not good in figures at all. Anything figures, even my plate number of my car, I don't even know it now. So I'm not good in figures at all. So but at least I managed to do it now. So just manage to do it. Huh? Are you for exam, it's not be something too big. Huh? Something that you do already. All right? So that's what. So I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Going forward, now let us look at the actual types of ethical issues in academic research. Types of ethical issues in academic research. Number one is what? Jerry. Terrorism means substituting anything you copy online, anything you give from the internet might cause you what? Problem. Even though you acknowledge what? Your sources. So that's why I encourage people to what? Paraphrase rather than copying and pasting it word for word. But that statement I made here earlier almost puts me in trouble in jobs. So we Abuja, for instance, is 30%. That's why you use 25%. You know how difficult it is to get 25%? So that you need to do a lot of paraphrasing to take it away a little from what? From the original. I guess what I'm saying, but still acknowledge the original, the owner of the original ideas. Am I clear? Hello? If people look confused, and like the whole thing is becoming more difficult. Hello? Ethical considerations in academic decision. Now, your ideas from the internet, right? I have copied your ideas, Father. I have acknowledged that you are the one who has the original idea. I have copied several other people. I've also acknowledged that they are the ones who have the original idea. I have properly and effectively referenced the owners of the idea. And I can still be in serious what? Trouble. That's what I'm telling you. You paraphrase. You know, if your work is not on the internet, those softwares cannot detect it. I hope you know that. You know, I can be original and I tell you exactly as it is, as you find it on the field. You are adults here. The choice before you is to go the ethical way or what? Or what? Or the unethical way. So, even when you are copying people's ideas and acknowledging them, your work goes for plagiarism test and it comes out as 50% copy. That work will be what? Stepped down. You will not be allowed to go for external. But you know what those guys do? Even at the plagiarism, the people who test, I'm familiar with Abuja. They also have a software that there and then, in 20 minutes, they have paraphrased the entire work. And they put it again in that plagiarism tester, and it might come out, it might reduce the similarity index. The danger in that is that by the time you carry that work to your external examiners, most of the content will be completely meaningless. And you understand what I'm saying? He must have paraphrased it out of line. Hello? So your similarity index have come out low, but your work has become what? Nonsense. I guess what I'm saying. So what people do is the work they use to go and do plagiarism test, and it comes out is not the one they eventually what? Now this is another criminal. You are learning. You understand? The work they used to go and do plagiarism test, and it comes out at 17% copy. Okay, you give me a approval, right? And I go back and go and carry my criminal something. And because it won't go for plagiarism test, what? Okay. I know what I'm saying. I'm not saying go and do it too. Hello. You're not learning from me. Ethical considerations in academic research. Yes?
Please, I want to understand what you mean by paraphrasing. Is it that when you say this is a word, want to paraphrase it, then how do you?
This human being standing here is made. This is a boy, right? copy from your notepad and paste on your work, it will not be what detected. The plagiarism tester will not, it will show that it came from what? From that page. I guess what I'm saying. I have IT professionals here who are probably familiar with what I'm saying, but I mean, but whatever it is, try and be as original what as you can.
Thank you, Doctor.
Father. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Let's assume, for example, what I saw on the internet. I copy it on I write it on my own and I type it with my hand inside it.
While you are typing, just try as much as you can to bring in your own words. Different from. I had a friend who went to, you know what he did? There's this, it's thesaurus, right? That synonyms. This guy took somebody else's work and used thesaurus to change word for word for word for word for word for word to the end of that page. It came out 15% copy. Then you know the energy required. The time you use in doing that, you must have used it. Hello. You must have used it to do something that is near original. I guess I'm saying, so it's what lifted and pasted, then there's what? Are we together? So even as you copy, bother to write it down, which is not even necessary. As you are looking at it, you're typing it, and you're changing what? The word. So even after changing the word, does it make it your idea? Does it, man? It does. You are still required to what? Acknowledge the source.
From the original work, the person said, Mr. Dr. Okafor.
You're planning to steal. That's why you're asking these plenty questions.
No, sir.
But I'm listening to you.
Again, Dr. Okafor and Ethel said so. And now saying, according to Dr. Okafor, now I'm adding my own words. According to
When you say according to you, I've not added your own words. When you say according to you, I've not added your own words. According to you, it's not an idea. The problem is what? The idea. According to you, it's an idea. According to you, you're only trying to say that I was the one who said what?
Paraphrasing. Paraphrasing.
paraphrase, I'm trying
Okay.
to change
Okay.
words.
Okay.
Let it not be exactly what's on the original. I can't introduce a new word to add.
Whatever it is, acknowledge what? Your source. As long as it's not what? Your ideas. Don't go and paraphrase somebody else's ideas and claim it was what? It's your own. Even when you paraphrase, always acknowledge your what? Your sources. Now,
Exactly. Do you quote the person exactly first or introducing your own, or you paraphrase it directly and still reference it?
you can quote the person next. Yes?
Still counts.
And then when you quote the person exactly, there's no need paraphrasing again. What you now have to do is to introduce your to critique whether you agree or you disagree. There's nothing wrong with quoting, right? But quoting too much increases your similarity index. That is the danger. If you quote, you can even quote exactly, but there's nothing wrong with that, so long as you acknowledge your sources. But when your work is littered with a lot of quotations that can be found on the internet, it significantly reduces your what? Similarity, it increases your similarity index. And if your work cannot go for external defense with a high similarity index. What we're trying to do is to introduce ways that the similarity index or indexes, if there's any such word, can be what? Significantly what? Reduced. Minimum. Are we good?
Yes.
Let me ask you a question. Is there such a thing as self-plagiarism? Can someone plagiarize himself or herself?
Yes.
Yes. How so?
and pick from this and do another one.
That is self what? Self-plagiarism. Is she correct?
Yeah.
Does anybody have a contrary opinion? I mean, it's my work anyway. How can you say, can I copy from myself? I can. Okay. Oh, okay. The danger is self-plagiarism is when you publish parts of your paper that have been previously what? Published. The problematic is because you may benefit from presenting your new ideas as an original what? So there's such a thing as what? She's correct. There's such a thing as self what? Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so I did a study for a class for at one location, let me just one location in international. And then we requested me to do a similar thing. For the same product. And location. And that's it. So not that. And those are the how to write support now. People where that's it.
Yes, you have if you're lifting what was in the format. It depends. Is it for academic purposes?
No, just that.
If it is industrial, then there's no problem. If it is industrial, then there's no problem. But if it's academic, then it can be problematic.
After review.
You just move this one and say, I say, this is a new report. Mind you, research is replicable. I hope you know that. Hello? I hope you are aware that research is replicable. In your chapter 5, there's a place called suggestions for what? Podcast. Where you are expected to suggest topics that can be extracted or similar to your topic that can be done where? Elsewhere. Are you aware of that? So somebody can take your work that was done in Nasarawa and go and replicate it in Niger State, for instance. You understand? And improve on it. Are you aware of that? So research is replicable. Somebody can look at the findings and say, okay, no, this is problematic. I don't think this is correct. And decides to go and replicate the work to see if the conditions that are found in this environment are similar to what? The conditions that can be found elsewhere. Similar or the same or different. Or different.
Doctor, this further research, I think you have to do the objective segment before that research, because if, for example, I am looking at the prison congestion in Nigeria, and somebody is also looking at justice delay in Nigeria, are they the same thing? That can our content be the same? Can one replicate one for another in that area?
When they say research is replicable, it doesn't mean you should go and carry another person's work. We're talking about titles here. Mind you, there's no plagiarism in title. I hope you know that. Okay. Hello. With regards to title, there's no plagiarism. The problematic is in the content of what? The work. Emphasis on the ideas in what? In the paper. Now, you can do justice delay and prison congestion, but the content of the work might be what? The approach to the work might be what? The research design, different, instrument, different, objective, even different. I hope you know that.
We are looking at
there is the same title, it's the same problem that we want to what? Solve. As you are trying to solve this problem, there's another guy there that is also looking at the same problem that you're looking at, trying to what? Solve, find solutions to the same problem that you're trying to. Even eventually, when we look at your titles, some some of them might be what? Similar. Hello. So should I not now tell you not to go and conduct that study because somebody else who doesn't even know who you are has submitted a title that is what? Similar to the title that you submitted. Are you understanding what I'm saying? So that it becomes a problem if by the time the two of you submit your work and we are seeing similarities. It might well be that it's the same person, the same contractor that you both of you contracted to what? Hello. There are so many research contractors everywhere. Okay. Research assistant is not a research contractor. Hello. Yes. Research assistant is not a research contractor. What does a research assistant? I ask you, what does a research assistant? Assistant is not the one that writes the work. A contractor is the one that builds the building from start to what? Yes. We just hand you the key, and you come. And you know the funny thing about defense. Eh? You know the funny thing about defense. You can just come here and say your name and then keep quiet. And then you reluctantly mumble one or two things after 10 minutes without keep quiet. Then the professor will now make you to have comments and even abuse the hell out of you. Right? In the end, you will not do that defense. I guess what I'm saying. You will not do that defense again. You have made a fool of yourself. Then you're not coming back to what?
Okay.
So you are passed. Yeah? Even after making it.
I shall buy all the money.
And the problem is not even your the problem is not even your internal examiners. Hello, can you hear me? The problem is not even with your internal examiners. The problem is with your what? External examiners. And what you do on the day of the external exam, it is the institution that is on trial. Are we together? It is the institution that is what? On trial. It's not just you. Because the assumption is that by the time that work gets to external defense, it must have gone through about 15 to 20 professors. Students love him what? So much.
Keep on me
You know? But my dear, you are progressing, but you are progressing in error. And each time his students come for defense, and what they do now at the department, they need HOD, what they bring it and they look at the name of the supervisor, they simply withdraw the work, take it to another professor to what? To do it. And most times the work is almost always 10. So if you have a supervisor that does not take his time to read your work, you may well be progressing in error. That's why you should make friends with other lecturers that occasionally you will take your work to help you what? Look at. Right? Fine tune, and you go back to your supervisor. You have to be political. You have to be able to what? go about the work. This person says do this. This person says no, do this. And the student is in the middle, is what? Confused. And sometimes there's a chance that those two people are even correct. And you have become the football in the middle of your work. Yeah, there are students who spend years in the university for something that was not concerned. Yeah, these things. I don't know. So these are issues that but not here. These are issues that can never be encountered here. No, no. There's no contradiction in here. I can guarantee you that. I can guarantee you that. But I'm just letting you know issues that can be encountered as we go along.
I want to ask. Talking about deviation, term deviation, now copying from the internet, which of course that's where you get
not necessarily.
Not necessarily nowadays. I get deviation. If they are doing this testing, yes. What is going to happen? Because now I'm not the one that one has yes. And so I don't know what is cultural practice and that's what is cultural practice. So I copy that I
Definitions from
after I paraphrase something that was functionally there.
What is paraphrasing? She's playing with words. And I talked about thesaurus here earlier. Paraphrasing is simply playing with what? The meaning is the same. Now, this is even the word. Semantics. The meaning is what? The same. But the wording is what? The idea is what? The same.
I'm talking about this now.
It doesn't matter whether you are defining or you are whatever you are doing, you're doing literature review or whatever you just be sure. And I said here before, hello, that copying and pasting and acknowledging is not a sin. But what the plagiarism tester is looking at is what? The level of what? Similar. The level. If it is high, that 25% that your work came out with, is 25% copy. So there's still some copying in, but the percentage is now what? No one. And it becomes a problem if it is what? So copying is not the problem. Using the exact word is not even the problem. So long as you acknowledge what? Your source. But the level of copying is what will put you in serious problem.
Thank you.
Fabrications and falsification. Yes, number 2. We are looking at yes, number 2, types of ethical issues in academic research. Fabrications and falsifications. What is fabrications? Making up data, making up results, making up findings. And falsifications. You forge data, you forge results, you forge findings. Everything is forging. These things happen every day in the universities across the world. It's not even an African problem. Have you seen Indians and Chinese? Have you seen their reports? One academic in China committed suicide because he was found to have what? Forged or falsified. my question. In the end, I went to that guy, the guy that received us. What was his name? And the question I asked him was, you guys don't have money. You have complained that you don't have money. You get grants from international agencies. Most of these agencies that give you grants have their what? Interest that they are projecting and they are trying to protect, for instance. Okay, they give you money, conduct this research or do this. Now, if the findings of that research contradicts the design or the agenda, well, that's the appropriate one, of that granting agency, that result will not see the light of day. I hope you know that. Yeah? And so when they give you money, they expect that whatever your result you are bringing should be in tandem with what? Their agenda. That is the conflict of interest we're talking about. Some agency, international agency, gives a university $1 million, for instance, to conduct research. Go beside that university. The first thing the university will do is to what? The researchers will need to go and understudy the what? The core values of the agency that gave what? The grant. And tilt whatever it is that they want to do to what? To suit he who pays you. He who pays the piper, what? We talked about prejudices and biases in research earlier. So what the researcher will simply do is to kind of fabricate and bring, and then the granting agency will clap for you that you have done a very good job, and they will go and start putting that falsified or research that was anchored on prejudices and biases. That is a problem.
Okay, can you tell us what was the response of the parents privately?
His response, okay, privately, I should tell you publicly. But then his response was not satisfactory to me, because the truth is they need money. They have bills to pay. So whatever they tell them to do, they will do, because they what? They need the money to stay what? They need the money. You have a question?
Yeah, I think because it is an example just like you said, we need to understand the source provider motivation. Why do they give money? So if you are studying their value of everything, like still
Collect their money.
Let me talk look like let me do one example. The working in a biggest thing that we don't do like and you know that this agency provide form for production. So when you collect their money, then follow the body that calculation. So you already know that this is the direction that because this kind of company of interest. So what you have said. You already know where.
So don't collect their money.
Yeah, that's all.
Don't collect their money. But because you need money, and look, let me tell you, most NGO, there's a lot of corruption around NGOs. I hope you know that. You work in an NGO, and your NGO is a Catholic NGO, and you know Catholics are not. There are some no-go areas that the Catholics don't compromise on. So I can vouch for your NGO as a Catholic myself. You know, but there are so many NGOs. When I came to Abuja, listen, the noise was around HIV and AIDS. When I came to Abuja, not to say, when I came to Abuja, the noise on the media space was around what? HIV and AIDS. You know why? At the time, that was where the donor agency monies were what? They are going. Today, nobody talks about HIV and AIDS. The level of HIV and AIDS in Nigeria is going through the roof. But nobody is what? It's nobody. The NGOs are not interested again. You know why? Donor money does not what? Go there. At some point, it was reproductive health, DFID, pumping in money. Is gender. Nobody is talking about reproductive health again. You know why? donor money does not work. So, hello is gender issues, gay issues, that is the aim thing now. And that's what is here, the NGOs, everybody interest, because that's where the money is going. So whatever research they are commissioning in that regard will be conflicting, because the researchers will almost always work tilt towards their prejudices, their biases, their agenda. And in the end, research is supposed to solve problems in society. But a research that is prejudiced and biased, that is tilted towards the agenda of an agency, will not solve any what? Problem. Rather, it will create more problems. Okay, sir.
Considering that very different amount of research. I don't think it's fact we job to find out why the country is not spending money on research.
Not that I'm aware. But the country will always tell, what is our education budget from? Let us even begin from there. What is the percentage of budget on education in this country? That will tell you it's less than 10%. Yeah? You understand? And the standard is 15% globally. That will tell you how serious we take education, and particularly what? Research. It's not our business. It is not. The one that concerns us the most is security. Security. And you know, insecurity is good. I hope you know that. Insecurity is the best business. And that is why you have governors in states who sponsor insecurity in their own states. To gain more access to an illegal fund called what? Security vote. And if the governor tells you that he spent 1 trillion on security, nobody asks him any question. That is the money. There's a notorious governor in South and does that with us. Boko Haram will never end in this country. I hope you know that.
So I was shocked when the one-time former chief of RMS said the insurgency in Nigeria is not the last for the next 30 years.
He knows what he's saying. He does not have to be shocked. He knows exactly what he's saying.
You know what?
He can create more crises and then they continue collecting security. Insecurity is good. Quote me. For what? For the government and the unions. So, General, sir, I hope I've answered your question. We don't take education serious. To exemplify what I've just said, go and look at our budget, national budget, year in, year out, for what? For education. And you know how serious we take education. If you want to assess the development of the country, go and look at the education system to give you a clear picture whether the country is going forward or what?
Going backward.
Yes.
Someone said it is like a chicken and egg situation.
Okay.
Like a chicken and egg situation. In the sense that people in the industry say that
Father.
people in the industry are saying that the products that come out of school are not prepared. And so they don't have trust in the process of development of the institutions. That's why they don't recognize it. For the justice system, look for solutions to their problem. The universities are saying, so they're not giving sponsorship for their research. The research are not being done well. And that has been improved, started. Which one is the chicken and which one is the egg?
To answer your question, there is no chicken and there is no egg. The most important level of education in this country is basic education. But because the funding level, you don't make more money from that level of education, we don't pay attention to that level of education. Emphasis is on tertiary education. And I've had students who can write a word in English in 400 level. And I'm not telling you a story. I am not telling you a story. I'm a university teacher at 400 level. Now, the shocker, or rather, what will make it less shocking is that they are Arabic students. They are studying what? That's what will make it less shocking, right? But you are going to do GST. I was teaching entrepreneurship studies. Am I supposed to teach you entrepreneurship studies in Arabic? Hello, how did you write WAEC, for instance? Did you write English in WAEC in Arabic? Hello? It's a problem. Maybe it's a problem. When the Boko Haram girls, Chibok girls were some of them came back. Those were students who were writing WAEC, right? Many of them couldn't utter a word in English. Were they teaching them in the local language, which is even encouraged, right? Which is even what? Encouraged. But then you have to learn English, because English is the language of the world. You have to write English. You have to speak English to be able to communicate with people outside your what? Your language.
Honestly, your word will be right. During the military regime, we traveled to Sokoto. Once the governor of that then. And what he said was, even the five, they are five, the minute in Arabic.
That's the problem. You have to learn English. You have to. You just have to. Or Shomale was interviewing a teacher in the state, and he realized that the teacher could not work. He don't read. A teacher could not work. He don't read. So if you're asking me about chicken and egg, I'm not even sure where the chicken is or where the egg. It is a complete mess from top to what? And you don't even know where to begin the information or the reconstruction. But I dare say it should begin from the basic education. But as far as I'm concerned, I say this a lot, the basic education level is the most important level of it. But that is the most ignored. I went to Niger State to examine some students. I went to a school, and these children were sitting on the floor. It's not enough that they were sitting on the floor. The floor was not floored. In the middle of Hamatan, dust. When they move, they raise dust. Those kids are going to get sick. And I complained, one of them, they are used to it. How can you be used to that kind of? There were no seats. And that's the story of most Nigerian basic education. And I keep doing it. You are in Abuja, you don't know what is happening in the interior. You will cry.
I don't know what's happening.
Father, you are raising up your hand.
You know, the recent one this week was the project presentation.
That fellow is a PhD student too. That fellow is I know his project supervisor. That fellow is a PhD student, PhD. Continue, Father. You too, you are a PhD. Please.
It's not the issues in this country, the issues that all of us are here to address. Also, we must be able to sincerely continue with them. Because it's not as if we didn't know that this is what is going on. And we knew. Because all these symptoms and signs were very clear. But it's a clear case of you are my person and your person. And you know that me, I don't believe you are person. Basically, because I'm your person, you have to let it pass. And just imagine that this thing is complete. That is what it says. This thing is simple. You know, so you cannot even understand whether the current body starts to allocate the education what is supposed to be for the education. And now, the high level interactions that are supposed to be in that state for a period of time 8 years. I've always said to my parents,
4 years first.
no. He says yes. Let's say 8 years. I said that when the last election was happening, I calculated 8 years on my present age. And I said that if we ever done with this next 8 years, then I should be
Finished. Completely finished.
You understand? Yeah, just imagine what that happened. This is a very serious man. Because after 8 years, you can imagine what we have done. And then this is the line where all of us have. When I entered the library on LBC, I saw the picture of that. And sometimes I even ask myself, is people necessarily keep it? Because no, I'm asking that question as an honest question. Because the way the university system even treats the outcome of that research does not give you the joy of what to continue academics. They will tell you bring this thing, they will not be clear.
Yeah, but if you publish it, it's beyond the university. If you publish it, you have not been beyond it.
So the truth is, it goes beyond the institution, but the institution should also that in the market. So because if the temple of justice is crazy as well, what happened?
I agree with you. I agree with you. Any other issues, contributions that we need to round up this part? Misrepresentation. Misrepresentation is another issue. Misleading presentation of data, credential, research findings. When you exaggerate something that is minimal, to exaggerate, that is unethical, you know, or omitting critical findings. When you omit something critical, probably because of your prejudices or biases, or probably because your paymaster should be angry and you omit these things are clear, then you remove it. That is also what? That's also what? Unethical. Next is authorship and collaboration issues. Authorship and collaboration issues. Example is when you include an author who did not contribute significantly to the production of the paper. And this happens a lot when we tell you to do group assignments. Some people just contribute money and say, go, Mr. Richard, go and do the work. Mrs. Stella, go. And in the end, all your names are what? Are included in a work that you did not include one single word. That is also what? Okay. If your name is on the paper, you must, it is assumed that you must have what? Contributed significantly to the production of what? Of that paper. Academics do that a lot. There are professors who didn't write a single paper that they used for assessment in Nigerian universities. There are contractors who write papers for academics in the university. And you know the thing about the university system? You can be an Intibonibo, once you get admission as lecturer 2. Yeah? After 3 years, promotion, more promotion, and you have become what? A professor. So long as you have what? Papers. Most of those papers were not even written by the people whose names are what? Unethical. Extremely what? Are we together? I'm not saying anything that does not happen in Nigerian universities. There are contractors that will write you papers and you pay them. They write you more papers, empirical, theoretical, and they put your name on a single author if you can pay. As a younger lecturer, I used to write a lot of papers, and then people will call you up and say, let me pay, right? Let me pay. And they pay, and you write and put their names. That too is what? Unethical. So I am also guilty of what? Of criminality. Yes, it's criminal. You are very
The days we were young, wild and free, basic getting spread.